My name is Barney Cohen, Concierge Healthcare Attorneys, LLC. I'm here today to talk to you about the disciplining of medical residents. Initially, let's talk about our objectives. One could be to fight, clear your name and records. Two, to resign and sanitize your files, and to obtain a positive summative evaluation, and no admission of having done anything wrong. Or three, to transfer to a new program at another institution, in which case you need the support of your program director. Let's talk about some bad advice to ignore. First, that medical residents can't be terminated. That couldn't be further from the truth. I've represented a number of residents who have received letters of termination. You can be terminated. The second bad advice is to simply put your head down and continue on through. That is very bad advice, because if you do that, you're ignoring the possibility that the program director will initiate discipline against you. Let's talk a little bit about the role of the program director, or as I call it, the discipliner in chief. The program director can issue all kinds of discipline, before even issuing discipline, can paper a medical resident's file with letters of concern or poor evaluations. The program director also is the chair of the Clinical Competency Committee. The Clinical Competency Committee, in turn, provides recommendations back to the program director on different types of discipline. Let's talk a little bit about discipline. There are several different types of discipline a program director can initiate. One, a letter of deficiency outlining different problems or deficiencies that a resident has. Another is a probation, specifying terms of probation that the resident must live up to going forward. And the most important one, a letter of termination, outlining the reasons for which the resident is being terminated. The Clinical Competency Committee, or CCC, plays a significant role with respect to discipline in recommending back to the program director the kind of discipline that should be initiated. The resident has an opportunity to respond to the Clinical Competency Committee, indeed to appear before the Clinical Competency Committee, and should prepare for that, and should be prepared to prepare a response to a letter of termination. It's also important to engage legal counsel whenever you've been disciplined, be it a letter of deficiency, probation, or termination. You should engage legal counsel to aid you in preparing your defense. Let's talk about your appeal rights once a disciplinary action has been initiated. You have certain due process rights. Those due process rights do not necessarily include the right to legal counsel at any hearing or appeal. The due process rights, however, are set forth in the ACGME guidelines and your own GME handbook. You should review these documents very carefully. The time for appeal is usually set forth in the disciplinary action. The time for appeal is generally very short. One of the first things you need to do is ask for more time. You will need the additional time to review your files. That is your GME files, your HR files, and any other files that are relevant to the discipline that has been initiated against you. You should also be prepared to prepare your defense to the discipline. That is, what kind of evidence do you need to support your defense? Are there documents that you need to produce? Are there faculty letters or affidavits that you need? Are there evaluations that you need? Whatever you need to support your defense needs to be marshaled and prepared. Let's talk a little bit about professionalism. This is a basis for discipline that is often used by program directors. It is a very broad catch-all term and includes everything from the failure to attend a lecture, to tardiness, to other non-clinical deviations. In all of these situations, the program director often refers the wayward resident to what's called a health and wellness committee or a clinical social worker to assist the resident in their professionalism. It is my recommendation that with the assistance of legal counsel, that the residents obtain their own consultant psychologist to reflect, to show that they are in fact professionals.